Greetings, everybody, from the Hannover Messe 2026 HighByte booth. We're here with the CTO of HighByte. Aaron, welcome. Aron Semle. Now, I know tomorrow you're going to be on AWS Theater talking about practical application of agentic AI, and particularly you're going to be showcasing the Bayer and how. Tell us about the project and why we should manufacturers pay attention to that.
Yeah, so it's really cool because MCP came out almost a year and a half ago, which is hard to believe, right? Maybe a year and a quarter, something like that. And we were one of the early adopters of MCP. So MCP, if you're not familiar, is how LLMs can reach out to ask questions. So it's almost like remote procedure calls for LLMs. So we were one of the early adopters because we saw the problem, right? It's obviously become a standard and much more common. Bayer, what's really cool is they took that and they connected it into their own Aviva Pi system. And what's really cool about it is the person that did it installed that system 15 years ago in a GxP-certified environment. So they knew it really well. So they connected it and created some custom tooling to answer questions around like Pi event frames, some historical data and whatnot, and then started to query and ask questions through an LLM of the data. They knew the data really well, and the answers they got back were like decent answers, right? And LLMs have gotten a lot better since MCP, end of last year, they've gotten a lot better. So it's a really cool use case. And I think everyone's talking agentic, fully autonomous, but I think that's more of where the market's at. It's like, okay, let me connect this in to the data sources I have. And I'm an expert, I'm a human in the loop, but let me start to leverage it. And then the benefits of that, if we can start to rely on it, are I can generate some reports on demand. I don't have to go into the clean room to get answers on production, right? So now they're spinning on how can we, now that this looks interesting, how can we start to leverage it to drive some efficiency in the business? So it's a really cool practical example of the use of models or LLMs in manufacturing.
You've touched a little bit that pharma is got some of the strictest regulations in manufacturing. So how do you control what an AI agent can or cannot touch on a Bayer's production line? I mean,
yeah. The answer is you control it, right? You don't just want these generic MCP interfaces that allows it to do anything it wants. And we all know this from using LLMs ourselves, right? The more you can focus the question and the context, the better result you're generally going to get. So the answer in that environment, in our take, is you actually need to build your own tools and control exactly what the LLM's doing. The truth is we're all using the same models. We're all using the same LLMs. The differentiator is context. What is the context that we're feeding those LLMs to get the results that we need? And that's where in HighByte, being able to define your own custom tool interfaces, abstract that away even from the data source, right? So it's Aviva Pi in this one factory, but they're going to go to the next and it's IP21.
Right.
I want to be able to ask the same set of questions through the same interface and get the same result in the agent. But the way I'm going to implement those pipelines is different per factory, right? But it's really getting focused on specifically, it's what you have to ask for. I'm only going to give you access to the stuff that I want you to have. I'm not going to just give you admin access to my Pi system and pray, right?
Got it. Now, let's double click a little bit on that. HighByte Intelligence Hub 4.4. Let somebody describe a data flow in plain English and the pipeline that you referenced earlier, AI agents built in. Walk us through that. What does it look like in practice?
Yeah, this is really cool. So John, one of the co-founders, will position it. He was, I think, the first to say it in HighByte. Data ops for AI, which is what we're talking about, building custom tools on top of your existing OT infrastructure to use it. And then there's AI for data ops, which is how can I use AI to help me contextualize and manage this integration easier? So what we added in 4.4 is a pipeline agent, which is pipelines are kind of our ETL tool, our way to move data through the platform. Mm-hmm. And now I can use a chatbot, my own LLM, to say, hey, summarize this pipeline for me. Change this pipeline, edit the pipeline. And what's important there, I think one of the cooler things we did is it's very interactive. So when we think about AI for data ops, it's on a slider. I want totally manual mode. I'm going to fly this plane myself. Don't touch anything. I'm in control. That's what we historically have. We have AI in the middle, which is I need your help and assistance, but I'm still in control. So I got to review everything you do, but give me the 80% lift that I can then accept or reject. And that's what we did in 4.4. So you make the edit, you can see what it did, accept or reject. Almost like source control, like what we do when we use it for software development.
Right.
And then there's totally autonomous mode, which is, I don't think we're totally ready for it, but it's like, okay, do your thing and I trust you, right? Every time.
And we'll get, I want to put your prediction a little bit later on, but I wanted to double click a little bit on AI doesn't necessarily say, hey, I don't know. It would sort of guesses sometimes.
Yeah.
In a factory, a wrong guess can be super expensive. How does HighByte prevent that? So talk about what's under the hood there.
Yeah, so you need to prevent it. Okay, we don't. You could use HighByte in the wrong way, like anything,
All right,
and not
okay.
prevent it, right? So it's up to the customer to realize that. But what our messaging is like, you need a human in the loop today. You should not be running production off totally autonomous AI. So for AI to monitor a line, look at certain variables, and then suggest a change for an operator to then come in that knows the process to go, yeah, that seems to make sense or it doesn't. That loop is really important. Closing that loop and making it faster is really important, but human needs to be in the loop, right? So you need to control the context to try to get the best result and then make sure someone is there to say yes or no to the results of the AI. And I think that's what's happening in industry. I don't think that, although you look on LinkedIn and everyone's like autonomous agents, yada, yada, outside of development, like in actual production of product, like I don't think that's being done today.
Right. Now, you've touched on autonomous as well, but let's talk about empowering the frontline worker. Where is the line today between an AI assistant operator and as well as AI making decision on its own in a factory? And when does the line move, I guess? When do you expect that?
Yeah. I wish I could, I'm not quite sure. I think today the important part, like you said, is human in the loop, right? So your operators, your frontline workers are still very important. And AI is just the assistant. So it's like, I'm going to ask AI and then I, as the reviewer, can accept or reject the change, like I said. And I think that's the foreseeable future, mostly because AI is probabilistic and is not deterministic. I can ask it the same question 1,000 times, and at least one of those times, maybe a few of those times, I'm going to get a different answer, and I'm most likely going to get the wrong answer, right? So LLMs are going to improve. Our ability to feed context into LLMs will improve to get better results. But I think unless something fundamentally changes, even a couple of years from now, I think we're still in this mode of AI assistance, human making the ultimate decision.
Got it. Aron, thank you so much for your time and the insights. And if you have questions, stop by. Aron will be here with the team all week.
Yeah.
Or leveraging the follow us on LinkedIn, X, and we'll get the questions answered by the HighByte team. Thank you.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Look forward to have you in a AI in manufacturing session. So.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.